Today's health tips are ways to manage ADHD. Hi, I'm Dr. Matt. Today we will be discussing attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and really ways that we as adults can manage and cope with ADHD in our everyday lives. These are all things that I have put into practice in my life, and I encourage you to use in yours as well, should you struggle with some difficulties with ADHD. The first one is recognizing that multitasking is your enemy. We all want to think that we are really good at multitasking, but we're not. The more we try to just focus on one activity, the better we will do at all things. So just accept the fact that we are all bad at multitasking and learn to just embrace that and just try to do everything you can to just focus on one activity at a time. The next tip is to avoid distractions. Try to get ahead of yourself. Know that you're going to trip over different distractions and find out what are things that do distract you, and then just get ahead of that and try to find ways to stop that. So you can say, put your phone away, shut it off, or turn off all notifications, things like that. Do what you can to avoid getting distracted with TV. Don't have it on while you're trying to do other things. Same thing with like internet access or even music. All kind of things that can make a distraction. Just try to shut those off and avoid them. Do what you can to keep things organized. Have one place for each thing. Put your things away. Have a calendar or a planner to keep with you at all times. Do what you can to not hoard. Hoarding is the enemy, just like multitasking. Purge all the excess stuff that you have so that you can keep things organized. So, for instance, in my life, when I go home, I put my keys in the same spot every day. That way, I know exactly where they are. If they're not there, I'm lost. I have no idea where they are. But at least if they're in one spot, then I know where they are, and then I don't lose and forget them because I've been distracted with somewhere else. Next, keep and maintain a to-do list. For those of us with ADHD, having a to-do list and keeping lists is just a way of life. So this can be printed out, or it can be something that's on your devices that you carry around with you. Whatever system works best for you, that you don't get distracted and start playing with other things on, but that can help keep you organized. Have a to-do list and work on that. Now always hang on to that to-do list. Keep all tasks down and broken down into bite-sized chunks, things that you can address in an orderly manner. Always be prepared to take notes. If you think of something, just write it down, because it's going to leave your mind right away anyway. So you might as well just write it down. That's why to-do lists are very important, but just having lists and being in the habit of writing lists is so important. Embrace the sticky note, although I haven't necessarily, but I do write notes. I have a book with me at all times. I have paper with me. I have my notes on my phone that I have set up all to be organized. And that way, those thoughts that come in and out of my brain so quickly, I'm able to capture those and I can come back to them later when I need them, and I can reference them quickly. That kind of leads us into the next spot. Try to keep your brain tidy. When you need to focus, isolate yourself, set yourself apart. That's again, avoiding those distractions. Use tools to limit your internet presence. You can lock down your access to distracting websites such as Facebook or Instagram. Do what you can to not clutter your workspace. Have a clean workspace. The extra clutter on your workspace just adds for places to distract and adds potential for anxiety. Those of us with ADHD have a thing called hyperfocus. It's where we're easily distracted, but every now and then something will capture our attention in such a way that we just focus right in on that, and almost nothing can take us away from that focus. Harness that hyperfocus. Go with the flow when you can. When you find that you're in this focused mood where, say, it's cleaning the house or writing a paper or doing some activity, just Jump into that, and when you recognize you're on that flow, just go with it. Ride it out as far as you can. Let yourself be distracted when it doesn't matter. Next, learn to depend on others. Use technology to stay on top of things. You can, so you learn to trust your devices, have automated payments, protect your time from phone distractions, depend on those on your loved ones. Being physical, being active also helps. Exercise regularly. Use your voice to commit things to memory. When you're reading something, say it out loud when you're trying to remember it. Just being vocal really helps solidify it within your memory. Don't try to work too long. When you have ADHD, the longer you work at something, and especially if you're really struggling to stay focused on that, the longer you work at it, the worse you're going to be at it, the less effective you will be. Find ways to put a pause in your day. Schedule times to go walk around the office, or take a walk outside, or to go do some push-ups, or to drink some water. Do something else outside of staring at a spreadsheet or doing whatever else that you're doing that is a tedious task. Lastly, I'll share just a couple things that I do on my phone to help me remove my phone from being a distraction. First off, I use my phone in black and white. And so, show a quick picture of that, and you can see that even though it would have all kinds of other colors on here, those colors don't distract me. In fact, my kids say that my phone looks boring to them. The next up, what I do is I take all notifications that are not from a person, I take those off. I want only to have notifications that come from someone reaching me. So that would be from a text message, from an email from someone, but not a notification of like, I have so many likes on some post that I've placed. I don't want those automated things that just try to capture me and bring me back into a specific app that then I will be distracted in for the rest of the day. Lastly, I make my phone the tools that I want on my device that I need to access, so things like maps, things like clinical references, things like that. I want those easy to access on my phone, so I put those right on the first page. And those things that are tough to get out of, those infinite scroll apps like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or you name it, those apps, I make it difficult for me to get to on my phone so that I'm not as easily distracted. I have to actually do extra steps to get to those. And so for instance, I'll put those apps either on the last page of all my apps, or not even, since I use an Android device, I can just have them not even listed. I have to actually go into the whole list of apps to open those up, or I don't have them installed on my phone. Those are just some quick, easy tips that you can do if you have ADHD and you struggle with ADHD that can help you cope with life and be more functional, more highly effective person in life. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe. If you have any comments or other suggestions, please leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching.